The war was over. The giants had fallen. And from their corpses, Eyah had forged the world itself. But he had made a promise to find the one who had saved him. In a hidden valley, sheltered by mountains that had witnessed the world's dawn, where new grass grew upon earth still warm from its making, Eyah, child of order, found Enah, the last giantess. She had made her dwelling there, a sanctuary amid the raw power of the nascent world. Her days were spent tending to the saplings born from the hair of the fallen giants, speaking words of gentleness and patience unto them, that they might grow straight and strong, not as monuments to chaos, but as symbols of new life. When she beheld Eyah approaching, radiating the cool, clean light of purpose, she rose from her work with the earth and went unto him. They stood face to face under the open sky, child of order and child of chaos, stern guardian and fierce giantess, yet neither any longer bound by the ancient enmity that had defined their races. "The war is ended," Eyah said, his voice quiet, yet carrying the weight of finality. "I know," Enah replied, her voice a low resonance, like the earth itself. "I felt it in the settling of stones, in the sigh of the mountains, and the profound calming of the waters that were once whipped into a frenzy." "Thy brothers are no more," Eyah stated, not in triumph, but as a sober fact. At this, Enah bowed her head, the deep sorrow of loss settling upon her. Though she had known with a certain terrible clarity that it must be so, still she grieved. "They were fools, chasing a glory that could only end in dust," she whispered, her voice thick with pain. "Yet they were my kin. And EH-joe, he remains in Sheol, innocent, trapped in that deep darkness for the crime of his birth alone." "I have made keys," Eyah told her, stepping closer, the promise firm in his eyes. "Keys not of iron, but of law and commitment. When the time is right, when we have established the necessary order and harmony in this new creation, we shall return and free him. This I vow unto thee." Enah looked up at him, and a spark of hope, hot and vital, kindled in her eyes like the first dawn breaking over the mountains. "Thou wouldst do this? Thou, a protector, wouldst release one of the reviled line of Tutu?" "He is thy brother," Eyah said simply, the truth of it self-evident. "And thou art?" He paused, his perfect vocabulary failing him, seeking words that could contain the seismic shift she had caused within him. "Thou art she whom my soul loveth, the necessary part of my own being." Then did Eyah and Enah pledge themselves one to another, not with grand ceremony, but with the simple, profound commitment of two beings choosing a shared future. Their union was the first marriage, the foundational covenant, the first joining of opposite natures in love rather than strife. Where they walked together, the sterile ground was instantly blessed, and flowers of impossible color sprang up. Where they rested, springs of sweet, vital water bubbled forth. And where they laughed, the air itself vibrated with joy, teaching the newly formed birds the very concept of song. The world itself rejoiced in their union, for order and chaos had learned to dance together once more, not in conflict, but in harmony. From this transcendent union were born the Primordials, beings partway between the rigid, crystalline form of the protectors and the vast elemental power of the giants, inheritors of both order and chaos, of spirit and flesh. They were mighty and fair, possessed of great shaping power, yet not wholly bound by the nascent laws that would later govern lesser beings. They were the first royalty of the new creation, Osuru. The Primordials came forth one by one, each bearing the complex gifts and profound burdens of their dual heritage. First came Hiher, mightiest of all, whose mere strength could move the tectonic plates of mountains and whose unwavering will could turn aside the fiercest storms. He was the king of their line. With him came Enkichi, his queen, wise beyond her years, a creature of silent beauty whose counsel was sought by all the other children, for her judgment was always fair and far-sighted. Second came Kor, the tireless master of craft, whose hands were blessed with impossible skill. He could shape metal and stone as though they were yielding clay. Third came Tano, the bringer of terror, a necessary balance. His very presence could cause the earth to tremble and the hearts of men to fear, yet he was sworn by his nature to protect the innocent from harm. Fourth came Jifa, the good, whose heart overflowed with boundless kindness and pure compassion. Her touch could instantly heal the sick, mend the broken, and comfort the inconsolable. Fifth came Tuvor, whose nature was cunning and complexity. His tongue was honeyed and his words were silver, but in his breast already stirred the nascent seeds of treachery, the dark impulse to disorder. Sixth came Kopor, the silent watcher, the eternal sentinel. His eyes missed nothing that transpired across the breadth of Osuru, and he stood guard over all creation. And there came others, the gentler forces of existence, Lorlo, Lorvi, and Malor, the songsmiths, the three sisters who wove music from the very fabric of the air, bringing the concepts of rhythm, harmony, love, and longing into the world. Yet there came also lesser children, born not from the pure union of Eyah and Enah, but from the noxious residual vapors that rose from the blood-soaked earth where the fallen giants had perished. These were small and twisted creatures, remnants of Tutu's lingering hate, the dark shadows of the new age. And though they lived and breathed, they were treated as slaves to the powerful Primordials, permitted no freedom, no dignity, and no recognized place in the order of Osuru. Among these lesser children were Osi and Eda, twin brothers of a peculiar lineage. Osi was wise and deeply patient, gifted with his father Ejo's terrible power to see hidden things, to pierce illusions, and read the underlying truth of fate. But the Primordials, heirs of the old war, feared him instantly, for they looked upon his quiet power and saw the shadow of the giants they had fought and destroyed. Let him be imprisoned, the Primordials decreed, their voices carrying the cold authority of new law, lest he use his sight to organize a rebellion and rise against us. And so, unjustly, Osi was seized and cast into Sheol, the deep, dark pit, where he dwelt with his innocent grandfather Ejo, sharing the profound injustice of their eternal, silent prison. Eda, the brother of Osi, was not gifted with the chilling sight. He was instead a shape-changer, a creature of protean form, able to take upon himself any guise, any form, any mask he desired. When he learned what had been done unto his brother, this cruel, unwarranted incarceration, a cold, burning hatred took root in his heart. A hatred of the Primordials who ruled in splendor in Osuru. A hatred of the suffocating order they represented. A hatred born and nurtured by profound injustice. But Eda was subtle, a master of disguise and patience. He smiled and bowed and pretended to accept his slavery, his subservience perfect, all the while charting a meticulous and unforgiving path toward vengeance. For generations uncounted, peace, however fragile, reigned in Osuru. The Primordials dwelt in awe-inspiring splendor, their names becoming synonymous with the forces of creation. From them were born the Lolo, the great titans, beings of even greater, more focused might. And from the Lolo came the gods themselves, and from the gods, at last, came man. Frail and mortal, a creature of fleeting existence, yet intensely beloved by the cosmic hierarchy. The Primordials were worshipped as the first powers by both gods and mortals. In their names were great battles won. In their bosom was rest granted unto them that fell in righteous cause. They bestowed wealth and power upon whom they would, and took pleasure and dominion where they found it, save only with the wretched children of the giants of Tutu, whom they despised with a historical, self-justifying cruelty. Yet all the while, beneath the surface of this ordered glory, Eda waited and watched, and meticulously planned the downfall of his masters. In the deepest darkness of Sheol, 2 innocent souls remained imprisoned. Ejo, trapped for the crime of being born ugly. Osi, trapped for the crime of seeing truth. Above them, the Primordials ruled in light and splendor. Below them, Eda sharpened his knives in shadow, and the day of his cold, calculated revenge drew ever nearer.